is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Billy Collier got scared right as we got back. It is that time again. High school football is back on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Newcastle Racers football is back in the Oklahoma Sports Network. Josh Calloway, my partner in crime, Billy Collier. We've got the full team back. Carson Wade on the production. Uriah Martinez running camera for us. Billy, you and I are back our fifth year, believe it or not, doing this. Fifth season. It's kind of surreal. Here we go, a new season.
It really is, and what is incredible is, you know, we see each other off and on during the off season, but then as soon as we get up here in our seats and get the headphones on, it's like we never left. You know, it's like we just go right back to where we were. I love it. I love football.
Feels good, no doubt about it. We came on a little bit late here, had a bit of an abbreviated post game. We had a few technical things. We got it all worked out, though, we think. And we're ready to go for what should be a really fun season here on OSN. As we got the Newcastle Racers and the Bartlesville Bruins tonight on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 6A2 versus 5A. We'll talk about that more in just a second. Part of all the changes this year for high school football. But we are very excited to be here. And what should be a great way to kick off the season here at Racer Stadium. This is the Countdown to Kickoff presented by Oklahoma Abstract and Title. Great real estate services from ownership lists, title reports, abstracting, construction binders, owner and mortgagee, title insurance, closing coordination, closings, and monitoring delivery dates. Regardless of how complicated or simple your title problem is, they can help. Give them a call at 405-348-8605. Our Countdown to Kickoff sponsor this year for Newcastle Racers football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Let's go and take a look at the season schedule. This is what we're going to be working with. All these games, of course, will be on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We have got Bartlesville tonight, Tuttle Blanchard the next 2 weeks in those Tri-City games, and those are back to being non-district games, Billy, because Newcastle's moved up to 5A this season. We are in uncharted waters, a brand new schedule, class, everything is completely different for us this year in 5A.
It really is, and it changed late in the summer.
We already had a 4A schedule.
Yes, and so then it got changed, and you're right. Tuttle, Blanchard will always be rival games. But this year they're not going to be in our division. They're not even in our class. I hate to say it that way. But, you know, moving up to 5A, I think there's a lot of opportunities for Newcastle.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. You know, you look at this schedule, we're going to be going to a lot of different places this year, which is exciting. And we still get those Tri-City games. You know they're going to play those in the non-district. So you see those first 4 games are actually non-district games. So this district that we're in, 5A1, only has 7 teams. So it's short the usual 8. The top 4 will make the playoffs. So the first 4 games of the year will happen, and then we'll start district play on the 27th here against Duncan. And then obviously the rest of the season from there will be District X. So we get to have a couple more OSN teams on our schedule. Midwest City, Lawton, MacArthur, both in there as well. So it's a brand new uncharted territory, brand new season. I'm kind of excited about this, though. Some new blood. It
is some new blood, new people, new places to look and find out a little bit more about the teams. I know we'll find out more later. You know, these are all new teams, and I know you keep up with a lot of high school sports and keep up with high school football as a whole.
Sure.
I haven't been quite as diligent as that. So when you talk about Lawton Mac and you talk about Midwest City, Bishop McGinnis, they look good to me, and I've always heard of them, but I'm not sure you would know better how they are this season.
Right.
And I look forward to learning from you about that.
Yeah, 100%. You know, this district on paper has got some really good teams. It's a little top-heavy, I think. MacArthur and Bishop McGinnis are both 2 of the better teams in 5A. frankly. But after that, it's up for the taking. I'm sure there's a lot of kind of thought for Newcastle fans tuned in of moving up in class. What's that going to mean for us in terms of making the postseason, things like that? Playoffs are still very realistic, in my opinion, in this district for Newcastle this season. So we're going to have a fun year, and I'm very excited to get this thing going. And we got a fun way to start here with Bartlesville. Let's go ahead and get into our starting lineups here, which are presented by Sooner State Bank. You have many options when it comes to financial institutions. At Sooner State Bank, they pride themselves on providing the level of service that will exceed your family or business expectations. Stop by one of our branch locations today to talk to our dedicated staff. Sooner State Bank, member FDIC, 212 Wright Street in Newcastle. So for this game tonight, Billy, some racers you're looking forward to. We have obviously a lot of faces that we're used to seeing, and then some Bartlesville faces that you're looking forward to watching tonight as well.
Okay, well, let's start with Newcastle. What I thought was incredible, last year, you may not have known this, Newcastle averaged 40 points a game. And I think that's going to really work to their favor as they bring that speed and that high scoring into 5A.
Yeah.
5A is a little bit more traditional than that. On offense, it all starts at the quarterback, Jackson Shaniel, one of the taller quarterbacks that I've seen. 6'5", 230. He has an excellent arm, but he is, and we saw it last year, a very strong runner. You got T.J. Bradford. He's grown some, 185 pounds. He's only a junior. It seems like he's played since 2020.
I know, yeah.
But he got 1,500 yards last year, 20 touchdowns.
Monster season. Very excited to see how he builds on it.
Oh,
yeah.
Me too. And in some places they have him the 8th running back in Oklahoma, ranked running back. So I was happy about that. And then I think you're going to be impressed with the receivers, Rex Heskew and Caden Longman. Watching them in practice, I didn't see Rex drop a single pass, whether it was bad, behind him, whatever. When it hit his hands, it stopped spinning, just like that. So that's on offense. Defense, we scored 40 last year. We allowed 16. And so on average, you're going to see some seniors up front, all behind Taj Smith, big number 77.
Taj, back.
Yes, 5'10", 250. He's going to take the middle. Watch out for someone to be right beside him. Blake Allen, he is somebody that has really come on this year. I believe the two keys to the defense are going to be the defensive ends. Last year when Hunter Berry, number 33, and Aiden Alcision, number 43, kept the play inside the defensive ends, they had incredible success. So if they can keep that in there and not play themselves out of the game, I think they'll do good. You're looking at a 6'4" and a 6'5" guy. Tell me that's not going to bother some people.
Right.
And then you're going to have, when a cover two, it'll be Ray Heskew and Trey Burchett in the back. But you'll see Trey Burchett kind of being a rover, moving up and back and kind of reading the play.
Now, I'm very excited to see this Newcastle defense in particular. Like you said, scored all those points last year, and since we've been here, we've been doing this. Jeff Brickman, the offense has never really had a lot of problem putting up points. The defense has gotten better and better every year, and it just feels like you look at that roster and some of the names you mentioned, those were all huge pieces of last year's defense that was really good. So excited to see them back this year. Obviously breaking a new quarterback this year, but you have T.J. Bradford back. So a lot to be excited about with this Racer team. What about Bartlesville? Obviously the Bruins come in. They're 6'2". They're kind of, would you call them a fringe playoff team in 6'2" this year? And, 6'2" is kind of interesting because, you see it. You see 6A, but really, in my opinion, the difference between 6'2" and 5A is not huge. So, what are some thoughts about Bartlesville and what they bring to the table and some players that you're in particular going to keep an eye out for them tonight?
And I agree with you. I don't know that there's that big of a difference, 6'8", 5A.
The top end of 5A is just as good, in my opinion, as the top end.
Yes, I think Carl Albert and Bishop McGinnis, those teams could compete very easily in 6A2.
Yeah.
According to the coach, quote, a bunch of seniors who were 3-year starters are back this year. I'll be interested to do that. Vipe is very big on them. They have them ranked 8th place in all of 6A2, 3rd in their division.
Right.
That, to me, I got to see it to believe that one of their players that they're expecting did not come back, transferred to another school. I tell you, somebody that impressed me watching video last year, their quarterback, who's a senior this year, Nate Neal. He can run pretty good, but he has a cannon for an arm. He can run, has good speed. One thing I would say is his accuracy is maybe a little bit not as well.
Yeah.
Number 8, Damian Nico, is going to be one of his receivers. 6'1", 170, big receiver. And so he'll be there on defense. You have they're really pumping up Avery Hitchings at defensive tackle. and he is very difficult to stop. He's a major rusher, gets into the quarterback, and then they have a duo of linebackers, number 36, Mason Manley, and check this out, number 0, Sutton Williams.
That's a great name.
Oh, it is, and a great number. I love that.
Which is 0. If you're going to have 0, you have a cool name, you have to be good to back it up.
That's right. So that's what I kind of see from them. I do think they're strong on the line and decent at linebacker. I did not see anything stick out that was in the defensive back area or in the backfield. So I think there may be some success in the passing game.
Yeah, right there with you. I'm excited to see this matchup. And, it's always kind of fun to get these different class games together. And we get a fun one here in 6A too. So let's look down here. We're about to have the coin flip here. Our coin flip sponsor this season, by the way, is Elcision Realty. You just mentioned their son, Aiden, who obviously is going to be a big part of this team this year. Boomer and Tiffany Elcision of the Tiffany team are your local realtors with Prime Realty. Go Racers. So the captains down there for Newcastle are all names you're going to know. Jackson Shaniel, the starting quarterback this year, number 15. Trey Burchett, number 16. Rex Heskew, number 4. And Taj Smith, number 77. Last time Taj Smith was on the Oklahoma Sports Network, well, I guess they had the scrimmage last week, but I was saying before that was him hitting that moonshot in the state tournament baseball game that we had on OSN. So excited to get this thing going. Racers be in their home black unis, Bartlesville on the road white with the light blue. We did get to see, like I said, we didn't do the broadcast, but we got to see a little bit of Newcastle last week in the Carl Albert scrimmage. That was on OSN. So we got a chance to see this team a little bit. They played Ed Memorial for a quarter and tied them. Ed Memorial, obviously, a pretty solid 6A1 team. Mm-hmm. And then obviously went to Carl Albert for a quarter as well. Some encouraging things, though, I thought, now a little bit. Was there anything that stuck out to you from that? It's just a scrimmage, just a little bit, but a little taste of that last week. You got to see the team.
Well, they didn't fade off. They didn't fade back. That's one thing that I saw. Edmond Memorial is a very good 6A1 team, and Edmond Memorial went down and scored. And once they got it, then they come back. They score with a pass to Antonio Brown, and a great catch by him right over receiver. So they answered right back, and then they turned around, and the very last thing they had for the night was they played Carl Albert. Yeah, and so if you watch the coaches' show, Coach Brigman said they were gassed when it came to that, but they still stood up pretty well and stayed with it. So I think they did a good job last week, and the teams that they played were high-quality machine teams in Edmond Memorial and in Carl Albert.
So we're very close to getting this thing started. The Bruins are running out of the inflatable Bruin Bear they brought. Newcastle's loading into the big inflatable race car. The toss was won by the home team Newcastle, and they've elected to defer. So Bartlesville is going to open this 2024 season with the football. And we are very excited and ready to bring you another full season of Newcastle Racers football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, this has been the Countdown to Kickoff presented by Oklahoma Abstract and Title. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to have the football game. Newcastle Racers, Bartlesville Bruins. The 2024 season is here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
All right, back here at Racer Stadium, Gene Reed Field. We actually had that backwards. So Bartlesville's kicking it off. Newcastle will return. We're shaking the rust off.
There you go.
First game of the year, we're shaking the rust off a little bit. So to get ready to get this thing going, our kickoff sponsor this season will be First United Bank. First United Bank, with over 80 locations across Oklahoma and Texas, is a family bank in every sense of the word. Family owned and operated, built on family values, treating you like family. Spend life wisely. Member FDIC. So the Bruins will kick it off. Back to return for Newcastle. Looks like we got TJ Bradford on the near side and Caden Longman on the far side. The opening kick is squibbed. It's going to go right out of bounds. So the Racers are going to have some good field position to start.
Yeah,
our first quarter sponsor, sorry to cut you off there, Billy.
Oh, no, you're good.
Is Chris Dumm, Allstate agent. Chris knows what life is like here in Newcastle. You choose your car and your home to fit your lifestyle and your budget. He also knows how important it is to do the same when it comes to insurance. He looks forward to getting to know you and helping you find the solutions that meet your needs. Call him today at 405-392-2390. Sorry, go ahead, Billy.
Well, I was going to say, where it went out, they're going to start on the 39-yard line.
Yeah, not bad for your first drive of the season. And our first look at QB1, Jackson Shanuel, who obviously we're very familiar with. He played a lot, but it's now his job completely, and we'll see how he does in his first drive. The senior Shanuel leading the charge with the star running back, TJ Bradford, next to him. He'll get the carry on the first touch of the season, run up the middle, and his helmet ripped off. He picks up about 6 yards, so a strong carry on first down. A little late extracurricular activities here, but a good first run for TJ Bradford.
Yeah, that was a good run. He got in there and got out pretty fast. At number 4 for the Bruins, see who that is, Sam Hoback. He was excited that he tackled him and had a little bit to say to him.
Expect Bradford certainly to be a huge part of the offense this season. Handoff here on the second play, and bottled up for, looks like maybe a loss of a yard. That was Ruben Rendon Zamora, senior running back, who we saw in bits and pieces last year.
Yeah, he's a big back. When he tucks down, he couldn't get any momentum. They were in the backfield immediately right there. When he gets going, he's like tackling a bowling ball.
So 3rd down and 7, obvious passing down. We'll see if that's the way they go. And, there's a jump off sides. Shades of, was it Jackson Burt who was really good at it, or was it Schumart, or both?
Both.
It might have been both.
I believe that it's in the playbook. I really do.
Well, that's a big 5 yards. That makes it from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 2. So certainly a big difference as the Racers are out near midfield. And we'll see if they just try to punch this forward with TJ Bradford. You also see Bradford and Rex Heskew both wearing those Guardian caps on the helmet. Something that's become more of a norm.
Yes, they made those legal this year.
Yeah, you can wear them in-game now. Bradford splits out. Antonio Brown goes in motion. Big Shane's going to run it forward. You're not stopping that guy from getting a yard. And it's a first down across midfield. Jackson Shanuel, all 6'5", 230 of them, picks up the first down.
You're going to see a lot of that. He is a strong runner. Again, just a big guy at 230 pounds. And so it's going to be hard to stop him.
Just about 2 minutes in here. Handoff goes to Bradford. Oh, it's faked. Shanuel kept it. Faked me out. Runs over a guy down to the 41. I fell for it.
I did too, yeah. And I was wondering why Bradford just stopped. But no, that was a good run. And the guy that got the tackle that got run over in the process was the same one that was letting Bradford know that he was there. So Shanuel answered.
So a nice run on first down for Shanuel. Sets up 2nd down and 3. 9:38 to go in the opening quarter of the season. Handoff Bradford, this time up the middle, inside the 35, running hard down near the 30. So ground and pound so far for the Racers. Every play on the ground, and it's working as they're down to the 32-yard line.
Well, and they're going to bring in those back safeties. They're going to pull them up closer, and that's when I think they'll pop it right over them.
Now we have some whistles here, and a timeout taken by Coach Brickman. So Newcastle wants to take a timeout. We'll go ahead and stick here through the first break, get a chance to catch our breath a little. But what a statement opening drive so far. Obviously, you got to finish. Just still got 30 yards to go, but just pounding the rock, which is, we've kind of gotten used to under Coach Brickman since we've been doing it, throwing it around the yard, airing it out. But this year's team, maybe a little more ground and pound so far.
Well, and he said in an interview with the Newcastle Pacer that he thinks this is probably the most focused, balanced team he's got. My thing is they have looked up and looked him in the face mask and ran over him. Why would you go to anything else? And, again, they're playing a cover 2. It's going to bring those safeties in, and about the time they come in, you're going to see the pass to Longman or you're going to see the pass to Heskew. And so they're playing good game, and here's the truth. If they run all the way down, make a touchdown, and you can't stop them, why change?
And that's going to really, when you're talking about, we talked about in the pregame, this Newcastle defense going to be a strength. You shorten the game up by running the football, and you're finishing drives off. You just don't leave opposing teams a lot of opportunities to score a lot of points.
That's true. If you look at it, they've now gone to a cover one. Of course, they have 3 receivers.
Like you said, 3 wide. Bradford, the running back, next to Shanuel. Lawman at the bottom, Heskew in the slot. I think that's probably Schumard at the top. Can't quite see the number from here, but
it is
probably a safe bet.
Yeah, number 13, Alex Schumard.
Got to keep track of those. We've had a lot of those Schumards.
They are, and there's twins this year, Alec and Ashton.
First and 10, after the first down run. Fake it. First throw of the day goes to Heskew on the little hitch. He breaks a tackle into the red zone. Racers knock on the door. Our first trip in to the red zone this year. Our red zone sponsor is Trinity Restoration. Trinity Restoration and Construction has been providing quality construction services for over 20 years. And they're a red zone sponsor this year as Newcastle in there for the first time. Shanuel rolls out to his right. He'll fire a little dig route looking for Heskew. And it's going to go incomplete right about the sticks there.
That was good. He was in tight coverage. I don't think he would have caught that anyway. I was watching down here. You had Bradford locking up with a defensive end, and they were battling, and Bradford stood his ground, did not let him by him. Looked halfway between a fight and a dance.
8:50 to go in the opening quarter. Second down and 10 here for Newcastle, just inside the red zone for the first time in this brand new season. And we got whistles here right on the snap. And this one's going to go against Bartlesville. Another encroachment. Okay. So the second early penalty on the Bruins defense. And again, kind of in another key spot. You got them backed up a little bit behind the chain. Second and 10, and now second and 5.
Well, and Newcastle went speed. They kind of tried to rush it, probably caught them in a bad place. I also want you to notice, if you're watching, Uriah's doing a great job. They've now gone to a cover one, and they've brought in an extra safety or brought in an extra linebacker from the safety.
Second down and 5. Bradford next to Shanuel in the backfield. He'll fake it to him. Now he'll throw down the flat. Pass is caught. Coming right up the right side. Breaking toward the pylon. Touchdown, Newcastle. First of the year. And it's to Caden Longman. You got a flag coming in here after the play. The touchdown is going to count as the fake to Bradford. Shanuel rolled out, put it right on Longman, who took it the rest of the way.
And we saw that play a lot last year where he'd fake the handoff and run around the end. And you know that they're watching on film. This time he goes to run around the end, hits the receiver right in stride. He runs in, a great block by the other receiver out there, and touchdown Newcastle.
Well, you can't ask for a much better first drive of the season than that, as they went right down the field, a couple of passes. Shanuel completed them both, one to Heskew and then the touchdown to Longman. And the Racers are on the board first in 2024. The flag was after the play, so we'll see who they're actually going to put this on, and if it'll be on the kickoff or on the try. It's going to go on Bartlesville again here, so that's 3 penalties on the Bruins. They might have, did they go both teams there and call it offsetting? They might have.
No, it looked like he called it on Bartlesville and said they'll take it on the kickoff.
Okay, that makes more sense. So a good first drive of the season for Newcastle. Here we are talking, this might be a little more of a defensive-led team. First drive right down the field.
Yes, power running.
I know, just got to love that. So we'll see what they do here. There's a delay. I'm not sure what the
I wonder if the officials are talking to him and saying knock it off. It looks like that guy over the ball's spending some time with the players.
Game has seemed a little spicy early. New kicker this year for Newcastle, 81 to Toby Pfeiffer. And another penalty on Bartlesville. So very antsy on some of these snaps. Third time they've been hit for all sides.
Wow. You got some clapping there by Bartlesville. I wonder if he'll go back the other direction.
Kicking game on a little underrated storyline. Obviously, Newcastle's been very spoiled in this area the last several years with Batchelder now having a new leader in that room with Pfeiffer, senior.
Waving the flag.
And some late subs here for Newcastle as Lawman comes racing back on, replacing Ashton Schumard, who's a kicker like his older quarterback, like his older brother Andrew, who led that 2020 team. It's hard to believe that was so long ago, that 2020 season.
I don't know what's
going on. They've waved off this flag 5 times. And we have another sub here. So Schumart's going back out. I think the substitutions are because of the confusion. I think Coach Brickman's kind of right with us as far as what exactly is going on here. Now I think we're ready to try it, though. 8:32 to go in the opening quarter. A very succinct first drive right down the field. And Caden Longman, the first touchdown of the season.
I was sad they got 2 kickers, 5 for both of them from the soccer team. I'd like to see how they do.
Extra point is right on through. And just like that, Newcastle's got a 7-0 lead. 8:32 to play in the first. First look at the Racers' defense. The other side of this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
Back here at Racer Stadium. Racers will kick it off, and as Billy noted in the break here, look where they're kicking this thing off from after the penalty. They're kicking it from the plus 45. Doing the honors on this kickoff, by the way, will be the other of the 2 kickers, like Billy mentioned. This is Brian Madrano doing the kickoff here. He is a junior. Bruins with a couple guys back, including Sutton Williams at number 0.
Damian Nico,
number 8, the other one. I don't know if they're going to have a shot, though, unless they try to do the pooch and pin, which is possible. And they're going to go for a little bit of a trick. Onside, off the helmet, recovered by the Racers. Oh, now it's loose again. Bartlesville might have got this back, and they did. Boy, Bartlesville catches a huge break as that surprise onside went right off the face mask.
Wow.
And then a couple Racers had a clean look at it and just kind of couldn't quite pull it in.
I think that was one of those times when the coach says, fall on it, fall on
yeah.
it. But it was recovered there. Tell you what, on that Bartlesville side, they need to be high-fiving and hugging Matt Sears. He's the one that jumped on the ball and got it.
Yeah, that would have been a disastrous turnover. I love it if you're Newcastle because the risk is so low. Look where they're, even with the onside, look where they're getting it. So here we go. Bartlesville from their own 36. Quarterback Nate Neal leading the charge. The senior for the Bruins and head coach Harry Wright. Handoff on the first play here, running forward for a few is Archer Swisher.
Number 10,
junior. He gets about 2 yards.
Yeah, he is actually the smaller of the 2 running backs right there. At the other side there, Sears, right?
Boy, it hasn't been that windy.
I know.
It hasn't been that windy.
Picked up.
It hasn't been that windy, and all of a sudden we were in a tornado there.
I would watch some power from
that's Oklahoma
Sutton.
For you. Man in motion there was Julian Uribe. Handoff here is going to go back to Swisher on the little jet sweep, trying to get around the corner. He's blown up for a loss. Flags are coming in everywhere. As coming in for the tackle there was Preston Scagnetti blowing that play up. We'll see what the penalty is.
Well, I tell you what, we started mentioning Scagnetti a lot more last year, and they are really big on him this year. Really big on his speed and power getting there. So let's see what the call is here. Maybe on both teams. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was one right on the line of scrimmage that would apply a hold, and they're both penalties are going to be on Bartlesville here. And they're going to go ahead and decline them to set up a 3rd down and long here, as that loss of 3 yards sets up a 3rd and 11. 3rd and 12, actually.
Wow. They did good there trying to space them out there, and Newcastle just got over there, fought through about 2 or 3 blocks, and was able to cut that off.
So 3rd down and 12. Newcastle looking to force a quick 3 and out here on defense after jumping ahead on the scoreboard offensively. Neal rolls out. He'll fire far side. Pass is caught on the sideline, but he's out of bounds. Foot landed on the white. It's a great catch. Good effort by Damian Nico, but nowhere to land, and it's going to be a 3 and out for the Bruins offense. Good start for Newcastle on defense as well.
And you could tell the linebacker was sneaking kind of over there by Nico. They're looking kind of that cover two there, trying to get 2 people to cover him. He is good, and they know that. So great stop here on the first series.
So the Racers go right down the field and get a touchdown to start, and then they back it up on defense with a 3 and out.
Set to punt. Back deep for the Racers, number 4, Rex Heskew.
As you might have just heard over the public address, Rex Heskew back to return the punt.
Oh, love it.
Oh, wind is whipping.
I tell you what, there are some battles going on that line. If you want to keep an eye on it just for a play, my goodness.
Huge crowd here at Racer Stadium, by the way, as this place is absolutely packed to the gills. And a bad punt here going off the side of the foot. And it takes a little bit of a Bartlesville hop, but it's still going to be really good field position for Newcastle as they're going to take over on the Bartlesville 47-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, that if anything else could go wrong for Bartlesville in this game, I don't know what it is. I mean, they have hurt from the get-go, not being able to stop the run, getting the penalties, a 15-yard penalty taken on the kickoff, 2 shanked kicks, a kick and a punt. I just don't know that much more can go wrong.
Right there with you. You talk, if you're Coach Harry Wright for Bartlesville, I mean, everybody in the first game of the year wants to get off to a good start. And certainly not that. Still very early in this game, obviously, but not a great start for Bartlesville, certainly. So 1st and 10, Heskew, the man that went in motion there. As Shaniel takes the snap, he will give it to Bradford, who leaps over a guy and stays on his feet. Are you kidding me? Down to the 35 and a first down. Wow.
Oh, I got to see that on replay.
That was incredible.
That was.
Look at that on the Eric Ledoux instant replay as he just did a little spinorama and got a first down. First look on the Eric Ledoux State Farm instant replay. Shania will keep it this time, runs through a couple guys and picks up about 5 yards.
I tell you what, they're having a hard time getting that run, and that's good on the line. It's good disguising it. About time they come to play the run, they get passed over, and I think they are thinking of the pass until we just run them down.
Well, when it's working good, the read option is a thing of beauty, and it's really tough to stop with as big and imposing as Shaniel is, and Bradford's ability, that's going to be tough for defenses all year. This one, a good keep by Shaniel, does a good job just to avoid a disaster, frankly, as Bartlesville was in on that one quick.
They were.
He'll get about a yard, sets up a 3rd down and 4.
I think it was still echoing hike in the wind when you had 3 defensive guys behind the line. They'll have to fix that one.
So 3rd and 4 at the 35-yard line. Got to figure at this point in the field, probably 4-down territory, so you have a couple downs to play with to try and pick this up. 6.5 to play in the opening quarter. Shaniel takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Bradford, breaks 1 tackle, bounces off to the right, and he's going to be down just short of the marker, it would look. Sets up a 4th down in less than a yard.
Bartlesville doing a real good job just sneaking one guy, changing up who the guy is, but sneaking them in to get through that line through a different one. Bradford did a great job getting away from him.
So the Racers are going to send in some more big bodies. They're definitely going to go for this 4th down in a yard. Hunter Berry checking in to do some extra blocking. Got to imagine this is going to be a keeper for Shaniel here. Taj Smith also, that's a good guy to run behind. And he'll do just that. Shaniel runs forward, and he's going to pick it up easily inside the 25 to the 23.
I tell you what, if you're going to run, I'd run behind 7-7-3-3 all day long.
Absolutely. Not a bad wall to have in front of you when you're trying to pick up some yardage. And so a 1st down as we're past the midway point of the opening quarter of the 2024 season. Newcastle took the opening drive down the field, and a touchdown pass from Jackson Shaniel to Caden Longman. Got a quick 3 and out. And now they're back on the move here again in drive number 2. Shaniel give it to Bradford. Breaks through some arm tackles. Trying to get loose. He almost broke free. Instead, he'll have to settle for a 9-yard gain and another first down into the Trinity Restoration red zone.
Well, I'm looking at number 76, Nick Lozano, just a big, strong guy. He's been big and strong the last 2 or 3 years. He was still blocking at the 10-yard line.
2nd and 1. The keeper this time for Shanuel kind of slipped a little bit, but I think he was able to fall forward for the first down. And it looks like he did. Just that, a 1st and 10 for Newcastle at about the 12-yard line, so they can pick up another first.
First and 10 Racers.
Boy, they're just moving the ball, taking away the clock.
I know, just pounding the rock right down the heart of this Bartlesville defense. And Bartlesville wants a timeout to try and talk about it, just try to settle their defense down a little bit. Probably not a bad idea. Timeout on the field will take it to 4:58 to go in the first. Newcastle leads at 7-0 and threatening for more on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You can look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. This whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
All right, back to Racer Stadium. 1st and 10 at the 12 for Newcastle. Handoff goes to Bradford, breaking through some tackles, and he's down just shy of the 5 to the 7. Call it a 5-yard pickup.
He is wanting that blue area. You could just see him pushing and pulling his legs and trying to get up there, and just wants to make that touchdown.
Bradford, who was a nominee for our OSN Newcomer of the Year last year after a massive season. And now for the 4th time, Bartlesville's going to get hit. We're jumping off sides here. Boy, these hard counts from Shanuel have been pretty effective.
Yep. I think that a couple of years ago, didn't we call that the oops play? That was in their book as the oops?
Yeah, I think it was 2022 where it felt like 5-6 times a week.
Yes.
Off to a good start.
At least 4 times a game, and here we are at 3 times in the first game.
So he's just short of the first down after the penalty. 2nd down and about a yard. They'll go to Bradford up the middle, and he's in. TJTD. Newcastle touchdown, 13-0, 2 drives, 2 scores.
That was a great job. TJ has really been working hard. He's one of the leaders on the team. I came out here to practice. He's showing the younger running backs how they can run and the footwork to do it, and here he is leading his team on the 2nd charge, got into the end zone. Happy for the young man. So
Bradford had such a huge year last year, and it feels like, how does he top it? And, boy, we're both very excited about the year that he is getting ready to have. And a good start as he's into the end zone for the first time. So 13-0 Newcastle, 3:57 to play in the first quarter. Extra point here will be coming up. We have another delay on the extra point. There's been a lot of confusion on extra points so far today.
Well, I have a feeling we're not the only ones with a little rust.
It's rusty for everyone.
It's looking a little rusty.
Some late substitution for Bartlesville here. I think they made someone come off, maybe because they're bleeding or who knows. Who knows what. Now we're set to try the extra point. Got another new kicker in here. We've been really bouncing around the kickers.
Gage Bell.
This is Gage Bell. Yeah, senior kicker, going to get the honors this time. And he punches it through. And with 3:57 to play in the opening quarter, it's Newcastle 14, Bartlesville 0. You're watching Newcastle Racers football on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, back here at Racer Stadium, Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production, Ryan Martinez working the camera, full crew back. Excited to have our team back.
Yes.
And excited for another year on OSN, off to a great start as Newcastle leads it 14-0. And they'll do the honors here and kick this off from a much more normal kickoff spot.
I'd like to see Madrano, see what kind of power he has kicking it off.
Cut it loose.
Normal, yeah.
Madrano ready to give it a go. Like we said, Sutton Williams and Damian Nico, the two returners for Bartlesville. And we have some whistles here and a flag thrown.
Looks like a sideline.
Yeah, it was on the Newcastle sideline. Take the opportunity here while we have a little break. Talk about the fact we have a couple other games on OSN tonight, including a really good one. Lawton MacArthur and Elgin on OSN tonight. Those are both OSN teams. We'll see Elgin and MacArthur this year. So if you want to get a second screen up, scout the opponent a little bit, you could do that. And also a chance to welcome Jones to OSN. Their opener tonight against Luther. Jones, a new OSN school this year. As the kick from Madrano goes into the end zone. But how about that? A new school to the family this year with Jones Longhorn football on OSN this year. Pretty cool.
And they look like they're pretty good. I know,
they're a good
talking
team.
To the guys, they're excited.
They're a good team. We did the pregame season preview show last week, Eric and I, and had them, I think, in the top 5 of their class. So they're going to be a good team this year. That's always a good program in Jones. So cool to have them on the network this year as well. Got a full slate of games coming up tomorrow as well. Even though it's technically week 0, it doesn't really feel like it because everyone just plays now. So it's really week 1.
Even the college is getting into week 0.
Yeah, that's true. And normally in the past we've had a lot of week 0 games with Newcastle, but then week 1 is off. Not the case this year. Our bye is later on in October, so a little bit of a different schedule for us this year. We get to enjoy a bye later on.
Yes.
First play of the second drive. It's a pitch out to Sutton Williams, and he's blown up. Nowhere to go. Coming in and breaking that one up. Looked like that was number 3, which is Ian Barker.
Yes.
There's another one of these seniors. This is an old Newcastle defense, and he was all over that.
Well, and that was great job. Ian Barker is just one of those hound dogs. He just sniffs the ball out and gets to it. I also think it was good. I believe it was Elcision that kind of pushed them back. They had to go a little farther out than they wanted to.
So a loss of 2 sets up 2nd and 12. They didn't get Sutton Williams involved in that first drive at all, so you kind of felt like they might try to get him going. Didn't really work on that first play. Newcastle was all over it.
I'm a little surprised at that, too.
Right.
I figured he'd get it just like we're doing to Bradford.
Neo back to pass here. Clean pocket. He'll step up. Some pressure behind. Pass over the middle. Picked off! Rex Heskew! First turnover of the year. Racers in business to add on.
That was great. He saw that the whole way. He was playing back there. Rex Heskew was kind of playing that spy. Didn't let anybody think behind him. He saw it coming, and it was a good thing the quarterback got rid of it. He had somebody right on his heels.
A great play by who else but Rex Heskew, one of those guys who just makes plays all the time, it feels like. Gets the first turnover of the season, and Newcastle, with 3:08 to go in the first quarter, is set up 1st and 10 at the Bartlesville 37.
Amazing. They have only had 6 offensive plays.
Yeah.
In the first
Hasn't
quarter.
been pretty.
No, it hasn't.
That's counting a punt. So we have a little break in the action here, but what a play by Rex Heskew to force the first turnover of the season. And so far, I mean, all the guys, all the usual suspects. It's been TJ Bradford, it's been Shanuel, it's been Heskew on offense with a catch and the interception. It's kind of been all the guys you'd expect are making plays already.
Right, Scagnetti, Ian Barker, a lot of these guys. I know we'll say new names. We'll say new names, I know it at some time, but it's good to see your captains, your what would we say, veterans, really doing a good job, kind of leading the team, showing them how you go to work.
Yeah, we talked about at the tail end of last season, too, that some key names are obviously moving on, but a lot of big names are going to be back. And you're seeing this fast start. So we got Caden Longman in at quarterback here. We saw them do this a lot last year with Shanuel and Jackson Burt, last year's starter, kind of working both guys, doing the same here with Longman now. And he'll do the keeper up the middle. He's got a lot of speed, and there it is! Caden Longman, goodbye! Touchdown, Newcastle.
Wow. There's a flag back here. I think there was a block in the back.
It might be coming back. Yep. Taking a look at it on the Eric Ledoux instant replay, you can enjoy the speed either way. Yeah, that block right there that kind of sprung him loose might be the one that gets dinged. And that's exactly the case. So this is coming back.
What stinks about it is the guy.
It might not have mattered. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think the guy was excited trying to get down there to celebrate, but a defensive guy was in his way, so he had to get him out of the way. So
that's the name of the game with Caden Longman. If you're new to Newcastle football this year, speed. He can throw it around, but the legs are what over back.
Well, and it looked like number 3 there. I believe that's Craig. No, Ian Barker, number 3. Looked like he was a little late getting turned around for that pass, and it just went right by him, went to the best receiver of Bartlesville. And so I think that's something they can easily fix.
So a turnover, and Bartlesville gets back out, and boy, did the Bruins need that. Down 14-0, and Newcastle threatening for more. A huge turnover for the Bruins to give them a little bit of life and maybe a little momentum. 2:54 to go in the first. Neal back in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to... This is Swisher, I believe, going around the left side, breaking some tackles, carrying guys out near the marker. A good run by Archer Swisher.
Yeah, that's
pick up a 9.
That's a good power run. Great job. Burchett had to come all the way from the other side, get behind him, and grab them legs. So that was a good power run.
Gain of 9 yards.
So it does set up a 2nd down and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 from the Bartlesville 38-yard line.
So Bartlesville hasn't picked up a 1st down yet tonight with an opportunity to do so here. 2nd and 1. They'll go right back to him. Up the middle, 1st down. And a couple more for Swisher. Carrying guys, look at him keep the legs turning out near midfield. Archer Swisher not going down easy. Another big run to the 47.
Yes, when he gets to that second line, he is not going to be easy to take down. You're going to have to stop him at the line, and their offensive line is doing a good job of separating people and giving him that hole. That was a big hole, so they may move some people around.
Give him the 48, 1st down and 10 right there. So Bartlesville with their first little bit of momentum they've had so far. They're going to go back on the ground to Williams, and he's blown up. Guess who? Jackson Shanuel on the defensive side making that big play, loss of a yard.
That was a good job. That was really good. Got back there. It was, again, one of those ones like Bartlesville's been doing to us. Just kind of ran right through, unblocked. They didn't know he was coming.
Always nice when your starting quarterback can also get you some TFLs.
That's right.
Not bad. So loss of a yard makes it 2nd down and 11.
A lot more speed. And so they'll have to catch up with that.
So the Bruins, boy, they were on the ropes in a major way, 14-0, and Newcastle in great shape to add more. The turnover, and then they cash it in the other side. A 53-yard touchdown toss from Nate Neal to Damian Nico. An extra point here coming on the way for Bartlesville. They look to add on. This is Dylan Burson, the kicker. And it looks a little knuckleballish, but it does go through. And with 1:22 to go in the first, the lead is cut in half. Newcastle 14, Bartlesville 7. Racer offense back on the field after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back to Racer Stadium, Gene Reed Field here at Newcastle, Oklahoma. Shout out Gene Reed, of course, who's engineering. He's kind of anchoring our coaches show this year. A great first episode on Tuesday night. They're going to have that all season long on Tuesdays at Luigi's. So shout out Luigi's hosting our coaches show again this year. You catch that every Tuesday at 6:30?
6:30.
6:30. Good first episode, and be with you all season long. A little pooch kick here is on the turf. But the Racers are able to recover instead of shop on offense. They look to bounce back after the turnover on their last drive.
That was really awkward looking. Ian Barker got on top of it.
Kind of short hopped him.
It's almost like he put his foot out to stop it from moving and then jumped on it. I'd never seen that before.
So on their own 33, the Newcastle offense will go back to work, leading by a touchdown 14-7. Appreciate you being with us. First game of 2024. We'll be at home here again next week for Tuttle coming to town. I think we've seen them a time or two.
Yes.
Definitely the matchup we've done the most between regular season and playoffs. We've done a lot of Newcastle Tuttle games these last few years. And we'll add another chapter to the book next week here at Racer Stadium.
Looking forward to a good chapter.
Absolutely. The way last year, ended that matchup and the regular season ended, we all remember. Don't need to bring it up. 1st and 10. Shaniel will take snap. He'll hand it off to Bradford, and he's bottled up for no gain.
It's a good tackle there. Number 63 who stood his ground and got him. That's Sanji Katiku, or it could be Sanyi.
Good job.
Katiku. Yeah, he just stayed his ground through the blocker and tackled him right there. Yeah, not too bad, huh?
Under a minute to play in the opening quarter on a breezy but very nice, pleasant weather night. Remember that we started last year, all the games were having to get pushed back because of heat. Not nearly as bad this season, a little more mild. 2nd and 10, fake the handoff pass to Heskew, caught it right at about the 40. He's wrapped up quickly. But a good pickup, sets up a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, that was good, and he's got great hands.
Yeah.
I think if that pass was thrown just a touch earlier, he would have been able to make a move, maybe get away from him. But that was a great catch and got that yardage he needed.
Not a great spot. Gets him 3rd and 5. Looks like he had another yard or two, but they'll throw for it here. Got a flag, might wipe this out. Shaniel, meanwhile, will fire. Pass is incomplete. Trying to scoop that, I think, was Alex Schumard. And that's going to set up 4th down, unless the penalty's on Bartlesville, but it is not. It's a hold on the Racers. And so you assume they'll decline this. Still waiting for an official signal, and they are going to decline it, so that sets up a 4th down, and Newcastle will likely punt.
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing out their kicker, Thomas Barty, I believe.
Yeah, it's a little early to get too crazy down in your own side. Your defense has, gave up a touchdown just now, but is going to be a strength of your team. You're going to trust your defense this year. So.
Well, and something that concerns me is there's a momentum. You can feel it.
That interception, it totally shifted. It was, like you said, everything had gone wrong for Bartlesville to start this game, but that interception, like you said, completely flipped the switch.
It did. Then came the touchdown, and then different game.
Looks like Caden Longman's going to get the honor of doing the punt. He'll field it and give it a boot. Good kick here. Nico back to field inside the 20. Ooh, boy, that was a little scary, but he does pull it in inside his own red zone. 12 seconds to play in the quarter. And the Bruins will go back on offense.
Well, and he had the wind at his back, I think. I think there was a southerly wind. That ball just kind of went up and stayed for a while. And I've seen that both on the kickoff that went into the end zone as well as that punt. The ball is just kind of like it got lighter and just stays up there. So that's looked pretty good on special teams.
A good punt. They do give Bartlesville the 20-yard line, so that's where they'll set up camp. We'll see if the Racer defense can bounce back after a couple of good runs by Swisher. The 53-yard bomb down the sideline. Neal to Nico got Bartlesville on the board. So 1st and 10. Handoff is fake. Neal will fire. Pass is caught at the 25. Backpedaling his way to a 1st down. For the Bruins, there is number 11, which is Jarek Edwards, junior wideout. And that is going to be the final play of the first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books. Newcastle holds a 14-7 lead. Bruins have the football. We'll take a timeout. Be back for the 2nd quarter after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
right, back here at Racer Stadium, Gene Reed Field. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier, Carson Wade on the production. Uriah Martinez working the camera as Bartlesville going to work here on offense on their own 30-yard line. Newcastle leads at 14-7 as we open up the second quarter here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Neal hands it off to Swisher. He's got nowhere to go. He's bottled up. Scagnetti blowing that one up. Loss of a yard, it looks like. Sets up a second down and 11.
That was about the second time that I have noticed that you don't even see him coming, but all of a sudden 21 is just right there in the middle of the play. And that is just incredible. Nose for the ball. He gets in there. He's not afraid of anybody and will just hit them and drag on them and do whatever he's got to do to take them down.
So second down and 11 after the good play by Scagnetti on their own 29-yard line. Man in motion there is Nico. The handoff will go back to Swisher. Pinballs around for maybe a yard, but it's going to be third down and long coming up here for Bartlesville. So a chance for Newcastle to get off the field here.
Well, and that was good job by team defense right there on the end. Ian Barker took him down. They double-teamed Scagnetti. They had him way back in the backfield still blocking him, so that opened it up for somebody else.
So 3rd and 10 here as the Racers try to get a stop and get their offense back out there. Snap a little wide. Manil does a good job to corral. He's going to fire it deep, and it's caught through some traffic just shy of the 40. A great catch by Julian Uribe as both Heskew and Bradford were right on him, but a great hands catch by Uribe. It's a first down.
That was a great catch. They say in practice if you can't hear anything with the receivers because they're grabbing it with their hands, that's exactly why. It wasn't going to reach his pads, and he put it right where it needed to be. Great pass there also by Neal.
That was a heck of a throw, by Nate Neal. So a first down in the Newcastle 43. The Bartlesville passing game has been what's gotten them back in this. Handoff here goes to Swisher, bounce on our left side, runs to a wall named Trey Burchett. Shaniel kind of held him up, and then Burchett finished the job.
That looked like a sandwich going down right there.
That was a pop.
He did not even get that foot back on the ground before he was on his back.
So give him a couple of yards, sets up a second down and 8. I want to make sure we also thank our second quarter sponsor, which is Contemporary Family Dentistry. The #1 goal is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. As Neal fakes the handoff, he'll fire pass. It is tipped! Almost intercepted. Longman tipped it loose. And then Heskew almost off the ricochet had his second interception. But he'll settle for a PBU.
That was good. That was good play right there. You saw there Longman stayed on his receiver, knew what flavor gum he was eating, and was right there to try and slap it away.
It's 3rd and 8. It's third.
Contemporary Family Dentistry, by the way, 1117 Northwest 32nd Street. Give them a call at 405-387-9300. They've been a great sponsor for us the whole time we've been doing this, last several years. So shout out to them. So another third down here for Bartlesville. We have a timeout with 9:51. The Bruins want to talk about it. It's kind of a sneaky big play here in this first half because with where you're at on the field at the 41-yard line, you figure, Billy, if they can get half of this, probably go for it. If you don't, you might think about punting because they're kind of backed up.
Yeah, I do believe there's going to be 2 downs. It's a 2-down area if they don't get it this time. Something even more important, this is where you keep momentum or you lose momentum. Because if Newcastle stops them right here before they can get to the 30-yard line, there's going to be a sense that momentum is shifted back to the Racers.
So 9:51 to play. I want to make sure we thank some sponsors that I've mentioned, but want to make sure we get them their full due, which is Trinity Restoration, our Red Zone sponsor. Trinity Restoration and Construction has been providing quality construction services for over 20 years. Their team has completed a wide variety of projects, including commercial buildings, residential homes, and industrial facilities. They pride themselves on attention to detail and commitment to customer satisfaction. Give them a call at 405-695-7040. And then our instant replay sponsor, you've seen a couple of times, Eric Ledoux State Farm. Eric Ledoux State Farm, their dedicated team is committed to helping you find the perfect insurance coverage for your unique needs, whether it's auto, home, or life insurance. We're going to provide personalized quotes and guidance so you can navigate life's roads with confidence. Call for a free quote today, 405-392-3992. So back to it, 3rd down and 8 here for the Bruins on the 41-yard line. Neal back to pass, pressure in his face. It's a little mid-screen to Nico. Stays on his feet, but he is bottled up. Ball came out at the end of that. He was going to be short. It's going to be short either way, but we'll see whose ball it is. I think Bartlesville kept it, but we'll see. We'll wait for the official, but they did. So Nico got hit, somehow held his ground, but then lost the football. Bartlesville able to keep it, though. Sets up a 4th down and 2 and a big play coming up here.
Well, and you got to give it up, big number 73, Blake Allen. They've been talking big about him. Did not give up on the play. Chased him down, caught him from behind.
So here we go, 4th down and 2 on the 35. 9:20 to play until halftime. Racers trying to swing this momentum back in their favor. They could do it right here. 4th and 2, handoff to Swisher up the gut. He pushes his way and has got the first down by about a yard. And the Bruins keep it moving.
Boy, they needed that, too. You could tell the momentum was kind of starting to shift back.
Yeah.
And they needed that first down to stay in this game.
So a first down for Bartlesville down to the 32. Newcastle almost got off the field there. The fumble actually ended up helping Bartlesville, got him an extra yard or two. 1st and 10 here, handoff to Swisher, nothing there. He's going to get called it a yard. Good tackle made by Shanuel, who's kind of making his presence known on defense just as much as offense so far.
Well, he's got that good size. He's one of the taller guys on the team.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Heavier guys, 230. You're not going to do much through him.
So it's 2nd down and 9 on the 31. 8.5 to play till halftime. Neal fake the handoff. He'll throw. He's going to fire deep. Got a man down there. Bradford covering him. And it's going to go incomplete. Good coverage by Bradford. Didn't really leave a lot of room. Was looking for Jarek Edwards on that deep ball. So you saw Bradford earlier kind of get, touched up on the sideline there. Good adjustment that time around. Didn't leave a lot of space. Good play.
One of the things that was good, he's given up some size to the receiver. But if you watched, he kept his hands just kind of tapping on him and messing with him. Not really interfering, but tapping on him and just pestering him.
So 3rd down and 9. Another chance for Newcastle. Try and get a stop here. Again, same situation. Probably 4-down territory, depending on what happens on this 3rd down play. Neal takes the snap. He's back to pass. Pressure in his face from Tosh Smith. He'll fire. It's caught. Nico in the red zone. 1st down. Found a soft spot in the Newcastle defense, and Neal put it right on him. And they keep the chains moving again. Another 3rd down conversion. 1st and 10, Bartlesville.
And you saw his power right there. That ball was on a rope.
Yeah.
Just right to him. You saw that strength right there. Got him back into that red zone.
I got to say, I've been impressed with Nate Neal so far. Really making some tough throws with pressure in his face. He had a man right in his grill on that and delivered it right on the money to Nico, who's been the preferred target so far. It's 1st and 10 in the red zone here for Bartlesville. Handoff goes to Sutton Williams, running hard in the middle, breaking tackles inside the 10. Williams grinding his way, still on his feet inside the 5.
Wow.
1st and goal.
You can tell this is a proud team that does not just give up or stop trying. They got punched in the mouth, 2 quick touchdowns, and since that time, they've been the muscle.
Like you said, the turnover when Newcastle had the ball 14-0 just completely shifted this game, and Bartlesville is now just 4 or 5 yards or so from potentially tying it. Neal, handoff to Williams. He gets destroyed in the backfield.
Scagnetti.
That's Scagnetti again, laying the wood in a major way. Man, Eric Ledoux instant replay for that one is extremely needed. I can't wait to watch this again.
Oh, it took him up off his feet. Dropped him right where he stood. Great tackle.
Huge hit, and a loss of a few yards backs him up to about the 8-yard line. Got to buckle down if you're Newcastle here. Try to force Bartlesville to at least make a decision on field goal or go for it. We'll see what they can do. 2nd and goal from the 8, run to Williams. Oh, he runs into a brick wall.
Wow.
That's big Taj that time.
Taj
doesn't even need to tackle it. He just needs to stand in the way.
That's right. He just wraps you up, hugs you, and you wake up on the ground.
So that's a no gain, and it's now 3rd and goal from the 8. This is a major opportunity here for Newcastle again in a 3rd down and long. Bartlesville has done a pretty good job at converting these. We'll see if they can do it again.
And they need to watch out. Neal also is a quick, fast runner. And so to stay on him as well, and you're noticing they're not getting apprehensive when they get in the backfield.
3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. 6:21 and counting to play until halftime. Neal takes the snap, looking to his left. He's going to fire in the flat pass, caught by Edwards. He's in, touchdown Bartlesville. He high-pointed the ball. Jarek Edwards, all 6'3" of him, he needed it. Pulls it down and then got the rest of the way in for the touchdown.
Wow. Wow, that was quite a comeback right there. It looked good down there on the line. They're showing some muscle. But that pass right there, and I think they thought it was going beyond number 11, but he skied up, caught it at the height of the jump, and cut it back the other direction. Great play.
All the momentum was moving toward the sideline. Edwards coming back toward the line of scrimmage. Just a well-designed play and a great catch and finish by Edwards. The extra point here from Burson will tie the game if he can punch it through.
Oh.
Snaps on the ground. Oh. This is Nico rolling out, and he's going to be wrapped up and thrown to the ground by Bradford. There was a flag tossed in here, so we'll see what that is. But for the moment, Newcastle retains their lead. We'll see what the flag is, though, with 6:13 to play until halftime.
I'm not sure what it would be. They didn't stop the player. At least I didn't hear a whistle. So I'm not sure they could say offsides or encroachment.
It was after the snap, I'm pretty sure.
Sideline warning against Newcastle.
No, it was against Bartlesville, I think, right? Didn't he point?
Bartlesville, yes.
All right, so the play will hold up. So Newcastle does retain the lead for now, leading it by a point. 6:13 to play until halftime. Racers getting the football back up by a point, 14-13 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are engineers, scientists, and analysts, the roughnecks, pipe fitters, and welders. We are the workforce that produces Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. We find and deliver the energy that makes this state and country go. We do it better, more safely, with more care for our shared environment than anyone in the world. We do it because our prosperity, our national security, and our way of life depends on us. We do it because we love it.
You can look up at our screen right here. That's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. This whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, back here at Racer Stadium, Gene Reed Field. Josh Calloway, Billy Collier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 6:13 to play until halftime. Newcastle leads Bartlesville 14-13. Racers getting the football back. Newcastle jumped ahead 14-0 pretty quick in this one. But a turnover. Bartlesville went down and scored. Got a stop. Scored again. Muffed the extra point, but nevertheless have squished a 14-point lead very quickly down to 1. And we'll see if Newcastle can get things back on track on offense.
Either way, we got a game now.
Kick is away. Here we'll go down the left side into the end zone. And be a touchback. Newcastle will set back up at the 20.
Well, let's see how they can bounce back. They're going to have to do something to come back and get into this game.
Yeah.
Because Bartlesville has found something, and now they're playing. And so I by no means think with 6:13 left in the second quarter, Newcastle's out of this game. Not to mention we survived cash. But I do think that they're going to have to figure out some things and get some plays going and get up this field.
Just shows you how quick the momentum can change in this thing. It's got to flip it back. Still a long way to go, middle of the second quarter. So Shane will back out there to lead the charge on offense. TJ Bradford in the backfield with him. Two receivers at the bottom, one to the top. Shumar takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff and keep it. Runs over a guy. And he'll carry a couple more for a gain of about 5 up to the 25-yard line. Good play on first down.
He wanted to show Williams that he can knock people down too, you know. And so he went at him and just ran over a lineman. You don't see that too often.
Past the midway point of the second quarter here at Racer Stadium. Great to be back in Racer Stadium. First game of 2024 season. Second down and 5 for Shanuel. He'll take it. Back to pass in the shotgun. Fire over the middle. Pass high. Almost intercepted. Couldn't tell if that was for Heskew or for Schumar. It's kind of in between them. And it was almost intercepted. I think that was J.D. Boyce, number 38, who almost had it.
Man, that was just looked like I don't know, it just kind of floated out there. So I don't know where that pass was going.
Correction, it was actually 36, not 38. Mason Manley, the senior, great name, almost pulled that one in. So another third down for Newcastle, 3rd and 5, and Coach Brickman wants to talk about it, kind of feeling the moment a little bit. It's kind of a big play. Newcastle needing to just try to get a drive going a little bit here. Don't want another 3 and out, so a big play coming up on 3rd and 5 with 5:34 to play until halftime.
Well, the preferable thing would be if they got down the field, scored at 0 going into halftime, not give them a chance to run back. But they're going to have to get this first down, and I think that's what they're going to have to be their main focus now.
You kind of think, those first 2 drives, those 2 touchdown drives, were almost all just on the ground, pounding the rock. I feel like they've maybe gotten away from that a little bit these last couple of drives, a little more kind of throwing it around. You had a good first down run. And instead of running it again on 2nd and 5, try to throw it, which is not a bad idea by any means, but you kind of want to maybe see them get back to that a little bit because they were really running it at a very high level at the start of this game. So we'll see if they can get back to that as we go along here.
Good point. Great point.
So 3rd down and 5. We'll see what they can do here. You could probably get away with a run on 3rd and 5, depending on what you're seeing. We'll see what they do. They are going to throw. Shanuel back to pass. Pretty clean pocket. He'll fire on the flat to Bradford, and he gets hit. Pass was too tall and incomplete. And so Newcastle's going to go 3 and out again here. So at the same time that the Bartlesville offense has found a groove, the defense has found a groove and has gotten its footing and forces another 3 and out.
I'm not sure, just miscommunication. It looks like that ball just took off right out of his hands.
It looked like the first couple of reads just weren't there, and he tried to just get it out to Bradford in the flat, but he didn't have anywhere to go.
Well, and there were 2 white helmets right between them. He could have seen them and thought, I need to get this up. It just wasn't a fire-hard pass. If you're playing the game, that's a tap, not a hit and hold.
Yeah. 4th and 5 with 5:28 to go until halftime. Newcastle will have to punt it again. Caden Longman on to the honors. Did a good job the first time. This one into the wind. Doesn't have quite as much gas. Takes a Bartlesville bounce. And is down by Heskew on the Newcastle side of the 50. So Bartlesville, good field position, and they'll try and go get their first lead of the season with 5:17 to go until halftime.
Yeah, I think there needs to – looking forward to seeing what they talk about at halftime for the Racers, seeing what takes place, what they need to do. They need to make some adjustments, and we've seen it. Brickman is good at making the adjustments. In fact, that early timeout, that reminded me a lot of 2020 and 2021. He called that early timeout, make some adjustments.
Yeah.
I think there's some adjustments they need to make. It looks like Bartlesville has kind of figured some things out on them, and so there'll come a time when they're going to have to make some adjustments and do some things as well. I think the clock kept going.
I'm not sure what exactly delay is here. It might be just a official's timeout. With 5:12 to play until halftime, I want to encourage you to stay with us through the halftime. We'll have the Newcastle band will perform here at Racer Stadium. You can always watch the Racer band perform at halftime of each broadcast all season long. And then, obviously, Billy and I will look ahead to the second half. We'll give you maybe a few scores, including that Elgin MacArthur game, which you showed me. Owls with a 14-0 lead. That game, I think, is at MacArthur. I could be wrong.
It is.
On that.
What's incredible, Tuttle is getting beat by Elgin 17-7 last time I looked at Elgin.
Not Elgin.
Not Elgin. No, Guthrie.
Guthrie. Oh, Guthrie's very strong in 5A, so not a huge shock there. Tuttle going to be good again this year, but haven't replaced a lot. First down for Bartlesville. Throw out to Nico. Spins, makes a man miss. Inside the 35. I'll give you one tip for halftime, and it's not an easy tip. I'm not going to say it's easy. Find a way to slow down number 8.
Yes.
Nico is having a huge first half.
And I'm watching. He is running some incredible routes.
Yeah, real crisp.
You're seeing his defensive guy kind of twisted up over there about 6-7 yards away from him.
Yeah, Damian Nico putting together a big first half, and Nate Neal continues to just deliver good passes in the face of pressure. Run here, and goes to the left side across inside the 30. That is Dayton Stevens, freshman running back. First time we've seen him tonight. 6'1", 190 as a freshman.
Wow. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen number 10, Archer Swisher in there in a while. I don't know if he's the one that was carrying the backs,
yeah, early on,
carrying the ball.
See if they get back to him. But either way, working right now. 2nd down and 4. They'll go back to Stevens. Hard run, big collision. Him and Burchett. He's able to keep the legs moving for a first down on the fringe of the red zone. So Bartlesville on the move again. This Bruins offense, which early on just looked out of sorts, has completely got it going here the last few times now, and they're knocking on the door with more points.
Well, and they're winning on the line. If you watch, the White Hats are taking the defensive line wherever they want them, and you're seeing them all get stuck to the left side.
1st and 10, 4:11 to play until halftime. Here is Sutton Williams, does a nice cutback to run forward. He's got another good pickup, about 6 or 7 inside the 15.
Gain of about 7 yards.
So Bartlesville on the move once more, trying to grab their first lead of the season.
And they're looking like the dominant team now, and so they're going to have to make some adjustments.
2nd and 3 from the Newcastle 14-yard line.
2nd down and call it a long 3. Neal has the snap. He'll give it to Williams again, left side. Able to break through a couple arm tackles, running hard inside the 10. And it'll be 1st and goal there for the Bruins. Down to the 7.
The first guy is not getting the stop, and they're spreading them out. I don't know if they're spreading the defense out too much. It almost seems where we saw earlier in the game there's a lot of gang tackling. Now there's almost one-on-one tackling, and it's not going in Newcastle's favor.
So 1st and goal at the 7. 3:22 and counting to play until halftime. 13 unanswered for Bartlesville, looking to add on more. Run here to Williams again. Left side, this time not a whole lot there, but he's able to bounce off and still get about a yard or so. That looked like originally was going to be about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be taken down there. Tucker Brown had a hold of him and just could not bring him down.
So he gets it to about the 6 or so. It'll be 2nd and goal there. Newcastle trying to stiffen up and just find a way to keep Bartlesville out of the end zone. 2nd and goal. Neal, fake the handoff, he'll fire, pass is knocked away. Good job by Caden Longman getting the arm in there for a nice pass breakup as Neal was looking for Nico again.
And that was a good job, just getting the hand in there. I thought it was going to be a touchdown.
That was well done.
So
here you are again. You were in this spot last time. 3rd and goal from the 7. And that's when they got the touchdown to Edwards. We'll see if they can this time find a way to buckle down and keep the Bruins out of the end zone and see if they can force them to kick a field goal or have them roll the dice on 4th down. Well, 2:34 to go.
I think at this point they just need to show they can stop them.
Play clock is running down here, and Neal is going to sneak a timeout in right before. And that was their last timeout with 2:34 to go. Neal happened to look up and see it, and he saw a 1 on that play clock and said, oh, boy, I better blow this thing dead. So a timeout here, and it will be 3rd and goal when we resume action with 2:34 to go. So obviously a huge spot here, a chance for Newcastle to try and, like I said, either force them to kick a field goal and hold them to a 3, or maybe a 4th down, and then who knows.
Well, it almost feels like Newcastle is starting to feel like they're not able to stop them. They're not bringing them down. They're losing them and such. So to be able to stop them right now, I think would be huge for the confidence of the defense to show we can stop them and we need to stop them. So I think even bigger than just going into halftime with a 3 points, they need to show that we can stop you down here, and that's kind of where they're at.
Right. So we'll see if Bartlesville puts it in the air or if they're going to run the ball again. Early on, it was the passing game was their best bet, as Neal has been very sharp for the Bruins. But on this drive, it's been largely on the ground that's got them down here. But we'll see what they do here on 3rd and goal for on the 6-yard line.
Looks like they got that Edwards there.
Four receivers set. Williams, the running back next to Neal. He will throw. Neal back to pass. Pressure in his face. Fires to the middle, and he just airmailed it. And that was caused by the pressure as Hunter Berry, along with, I think, Ruben Rendon-Zamora, they came in just like a bullet coming right at Neal. And Nico was open right in the middle of the end zone, but didn't have time to put his foot on the ground and sailed it.
Good call. That's right. He didn't have a chance to step into that without getting clobbered, and that just kind of kept the angle of the ball up into the air.
So a good job by the Racer defense to buckle down and force a field goal try here for Burson. Now, obviously, remember last time, extra point, they muffed the snap. We'll see what they do this time. It's a short field goal, obviously. About a 23-yarder, we'll call it. Spot is down, kick is up, and it is through. So Bartlesville gets a field goal, and they have their first lead of the year. But the Racers bend but don't break. They keep them out of the end zone. 2:26 to play until halftime. Bartlesville by 2. Racer offense back on the field after this break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.